What is up? Rays of the sun, warriors, game changers, awakening wonders. Welcome. My name is Master Juniper Bloom Mystique. Today I'm going to talk about something important. There are words, right? Words. We all got words. We use them all the time. Sometimes wisely and sometimes not wisely. We may not even know the full meaning and the totality of the words that we use. As a master healer and an ascension master, that is what I've been doing, is bringing about changes, bringing about the new earth, undoing the darkness from the new earth, separating shadow from light. We cannot be duality anymore. And within that, the rise of the new earth is truly about creation, our power being returned to us. Now, it's not just a given. Okay, we can't bring the shadow into the new earth with us. There is this weird misconception that just because you're here or if you might see something, you're given. It's a given for you. And that is not the case. You must heal your karma, okay? Karma is where we give our power away to the shadow through free will. Everything happens through free will, through our choices. Our words, our choices, and our actions determine and dictate what we create and where we go, okay? And it's not just this lifetime that we have to worry about. It's every lifetime coming into one. So we are in a karmic blueprint. We are in a karmic playout because New Earth will not be a karmic playout anymore. And so the choices we make are so important. Now, not only the choices that we make, but the words that we speak, the things that we do, the actions we take, okay? The path that we are on is so important, and it will determine where you go. It really, truly will. Your hearts were measured by how much love is truly in them, because sometimes we have wounds, right? And if the wounds weren't there, our love would be tenfold. So there's a lot going on beyond our consciousness. And this is also with words. Okay, because today I'm going to talk about a very important word. Mindful. This is a woke word, in my opinion. It is a tool of the matrix to keep people to where they think they're aware, to where they think they're awake, but in truth, they're actually hurting themselves. One of the many tricks of the matrix. Okay, the illusions of grandeur. This is what they like to put out all the time, is illusions of grandeur. Things that make you think, mindful, oh my gosh, I'm so aware in my mind. I don't want to do that. Why don't we want to do that? Because one of their tools and their tricks was your mind. Okay, I undid the matrix. I undid Mount Shasta, which was the red dragon. That is when I defeated the red dragon, and I didn't know that, you guys. That actually unfolded in the work. And it took a long time for me to see that that's what I was doing. When I cleared Mount Shasta, part one was back in 2020. I believe it was 2020, 2021, 2020, somewhere in there. And then I was activating pyramids, feminine ones first, and uniting with my twin flame I didn't even know I had. So there's a lot of things going on beyond what meets the eye, okay? And Mount Shasta, they stole the root chakra from Fiji and placed it at Mount Shasta. It was what created the veils of illusion. And having access to the light, because they were fallen from God, right? These were beings that were fallen from God, so they had connection to that knowledge, connection to that heart center, and they used that power and whatever power you gave them to create these veils of illusion, to create this world that was a lie. And it almost looks good, right? Illusions of grandeur, my friends. And the word mindful is a part of that, okay? So you ever had those thoughts that just all of a sudden get in your head? You don't even know where they came from. They're very negative. They're very, very low vibrational, fill you with doubt, fill you with fear, all of these false concepts of timelines that don't exist. Yeah, that's the matrix, okay? They would get in our head, especially when we were about to do anything good, okay? And one of the other tools they use is words, our vocabulary, our spellings, okay? Spell castings. I do spell castings with the gods. Words are very important. What we speak What we choose to think, what we choose to see, what we choose to feel are all very important. So if on your journey you were all tested, are you aware of that? You've all been being tested. And if on your journey you had moments where, ooh, I could choose to judge this person, or I could choose that, hey, that's something within me I want to heal and rise above and choose love only and send love out. Those are your choices. Okay, so at each time in your journey, you've been tempted by something and you had a choice to make. And you either threw something that wasn't love out, or you healed what it aligned to and was reflecting within you and chose to keep going and rising above. And that's what's going to determine which path we're on. But the Matrix likes to use tools to confuse you, okay? To make you think that you're all good, to make you think that everything's okay, and to make you think you're woke. The woke folk, right? The woke folk. The woke folk is funny to me because it almost sounds like, yeah, we're awake, we're aware, but in truth, they're far from it. They're far from it, because when you're truly awake, when you're truly aware, you know that to get there, you have to feel more than you think. Okay? Thinking is what can get us in trouble. Thinking is a lot of times what gets us to give our power away, because our thoughts create feelings. So those words that look good, but they're not actually good, creates feelings that we don't, exact waves of energy that we're not quite aware of. That's why it's like woke folk. We think we're awoke, but we're not. These feelings actually dim our light. Okay? This vibration of these words will actually dim our light. Words are very powerful. So the words we say, the things we think, the things we bring in like poison every day, right? What do you watch? What do you saturate yourself with? And I've talked about this before, but I feel like it needs to be talked about again. Because who I am as a master healer, I know what causes an awakening. I understand feelings and vibrations tenfold. Our vibration is everything. But just because I say, oh, I choose love, my actions also have to match. If my actions are not matching, then I'm just a woke folk, right? Does that make sense? So, like, I feel like I can manipulate the system. That's illusions of grandeur. And God is very, very smart. God is vast. God is everything. Okay? Just like Kundalini energy. So the word mindful makes us think that, hey, I'm becoming aware, but we're not. There's two components to that word, mind and full. It's a compound word. Mindful, right? The last thing I want is my mind to be full. Okay, the last thing I want. So let's break this word down, because every word we say creates a vibrational tone within us. It's like setting a seed. It's like planting a seed within our vibration. Very true, okay? And so if I pick up the word mindful, okay, I'm going to be mindful today. That means I'm going to miss some stuff, to be honest with you. Number one, I don't want to be in my head. I don't want to be in my mind. I need to gain my power back from my mind. And that's kind of a concept that is a little strange, right? Don't I need to be in my head? I need to be logical. I need to be safe. I need to be thinking things through. I need to be worrying about my future. And I need to always think about the past so that I don't bring it forward. Poisons. Poisons, they feed you a false reality. Okay? And that's mindful. Just like in psychology. I have a psychology degree. You know, they teach you to analyze. They teach you to think about. They teach you to bring up forward your wounds so that you can think about them and relive them and process them, because that's the only way to heal. That's not true either. Okay? I was in psychology. I was a behavioral therapist, behavioral tech, working with children of autism and other complicated disorders that like to use violence, severe violence, as their form of communication. Okay? That's what I did. And then I had my awakening. So, and they were nonverbal. They didn't know how to communicate in the world around them. And they were so frustrated because we as a society came to a point where everything we use is our brains and our mouth, right? But that is false. And that's not always the case. We have music. We have all these other things. We've become more aware of vibration. I get that. But the word mindful, there's this layer of the reality that the Matrix created that it'll still like hook, line, and sink you. Okay? It's illusions of grandeur. You can think you're good, you can think you see everything, but you do not. Okay? Let me tell you, if you don't see all the work that I did, when I took us into the Nile, God specifically said, if you can't see everything, and I don't mean just looking at it, oh yeah, okay. I mean seeing it from your heart space. If you cannot see it from your heart space, then there is work to do. So the difference between the matrix and the new earth is the mind to the heart. God is in our heart. The matrix wanted us detached from that. So they want us in our head. God wants us in our heart. Okay? And I must quiet the mind. I must get my power back from my mind. So I have to be in control of my thoughts. I have to be able to calm my thoughts and quiet them. And in order to get there, it takes work, because we're calling our power back from a system that stole it, manipulated it. They like to manipulate your free will, and that's one of the ways they do it. Okay? And then they use these illusions of grandeur to make you think that you're all good, like the woke folk, like the word mindful. There's other words, but today we're focusing on mindful. As a master, a true master in all healing modalities, I know what it means to be awake. I know what it means not to be woke, to be awake. I know what it means to have to call your power back from your brain, from our thoughts, to be able to control those thoughts, to be able to choose thoughts of love only versus matrix thoughts, to be able to understand the illusions of grandeur over what is truly real. Okay? And the way I did that was get 100% in my heart space. My whole awakening journey, the return work, came from the heart path. And I had no idea, because until your shadow is fully healed, it's detached from our consciousness. We don't see it. We can't tangibly touch it. And our mind wants us to. Okay? So they have given so much power to your mind, where we're always looking for tangibility. We're always looking for logic within spirituality. And there is logic in there, but it's where the heart is over that. Okay? So the word mindful makes you think that, hey, I'm doing a good thing. I'm paying attention. I'm using my noggin to be aware of the world around me. But you are still detached from what is truly real. Okay? So you want to get into that heart space. We have grown accustomed to being afraid of feelings. We don't know how to feel our feelings, and they've become quite compounded, and our mind took over. And in order to get to New Earth, we need our heart to take over and our mind to have our power back from it. Okay? We have to be able to quiet the mind tenfold. Okay? And this is what I do to help people, to help them awaken. I help you get out of that mind. We have to. That's a Mount Shasta portal. We have to call our power back from the mind. Now, being mindful, listen to that word. Let's break it down. Let's break it down from the woke folk. I'm in my mind and it's full. It means I'm being mind aware. It means I'm using my mind to pay attention to the world around me. But I'm going to actually detach from a lot of things in doing that, because spirituality, God, vibrations are all felt through our body and our heart. Our mind is like a computer. Our emotions were created from thoughts as well, but within our body. Okay? So I need to heal what keeps me from feeling everything. We got to heal what keeps us from feeling everything. So instead of being mindful, I don't want to be mindful at all. I want to be mindless. But there's 3 words that we can have to replace the word mindful. Okay? Omnipresence. Without my mind, I can be present in all things. Without my mind, quiet. It's calm. I'm in a theta state. It's calm. I don't think. Then I can actually get downloads. Then my third eye can fully awaken. Then my crown chakra can fully awaken. But my mind is quiet. I don't need my mind to get downloads. Trust me, you don't. We have other senses that will awaken when our mind becomes quiet. Okay? So my mind needs to be quiet. And my body needs to be tuned into all things. So I need to be able to feel. I need to be able to sense. Omnipresence means that I can feel the vibrations and the omniness around me and the presence of all things. Okay? I am omnipresent. So instead of mindful, I want to be aware of all the things. My mind takes me out of that awareness. That's another word, is awareness. Okay? So instead of mindful, we want to be omnipresent. We want to be observant. Observation is to release ego, the mind, and expectation. The ego is found in the mind. Okay? The more we relieve the ego, because we don't want ego. That is, we are not meant to be duality. I cannot express this enough. We don't want to dance with our shadow. We want to heal it. Okay? Does that mean we're always fully healed? There is no ending. It's about the journey. Healing, as long as the shadow has zero power over you, then you have healed enough to rise. And I do mean zero power, and you can see everything from the omnipresence. Okay? Otherwise, we got work to do. There's a lot of work to do. Okay? So we want to become omnipresent. I need to quiet my mind. The more I'm tuned into my body and my senses. Do you get little goosebumpies when things are around? Can you feel your stomach over the mind? Can you feel your solar plexus over the mind? Think of your solar plexus like our second brain. You know how they talk about the gut-brain connection? There's a reason why they cut us off and detach us from ourselves. They're not dumb. And I just got chills. The Matrix is very smart. They were very smart, and they knew how to manipulate the shiitakes out of you. They did it well. It was an art form, okay? And so part of our power has to be coming back from the medical matrix, the food matrix, and listening to our bodies, not our mind. Our mind has become poisoned and lost and kind of shut down. And so the more we go into our body, the more we feel, the more we learn to process our emotions and listen to our emotions and our body and our senses, the more we become omnipresent. This is good stuff. It's very important. Okay, I don't want to be mindful. No, thank you. To me, that feels like a poison word. I don't even like saying it. Like, no way. I spent a long time staying out of my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, even on my twin flame journey, that shadow would get in and be like, bah! And I'm like, shh. Hush yourself. And I have to do it to this day. Okay, and those words, those thoughts that we pick up create the biggest imprints in our body. And emotions do the same thing. Emotions are compound emotions, okay? I've been studying certain other things, mastering things like Yoga Nidra and things that I'm going to put out there. But I'm going to tell you right now is that our body is more important than our mind. And we need to be omnipresent. We also need to be observant, not speculative. To observe the world around us is to use our senses, not our minds, not thinking we already know what it is, not realizing that there's so many things to everything, so many layers to everything, and there's way more than our eyes can see. So that my brain is very limited. My two physical eyes are extremely limited, but my mind's eye, my senses, my heart, those senses, you know, like the sixth sense, you know what I'm saying? Our clairs are our senses. And the more those are active, the more I can be observant. So the world, the universe, the vibrations are going to tell me what I need to see and hear and feel and know. They're going to tell me, but not in here. Okay, they work through our senses. Vibration is everything. The key to life is true vibrational senses. So in order to get there, we need to be omnipresent. I need to be able to tune into all things. All my senses need to be activated. I need to be observant. So no matter what comes up, I have to feel into all the details and the layers of all of it, right? I need to feel those layers. I need to be omnipresent and I need to be observant. I'm going to dig through those layers. I'm not going to assume I know anything. I never do. Okay, even when angels would come in, I have to pay attention to their energy, omnipresent and observant into all the details of the vibrations, because you can have imposter angels as well. Okay, this is what the Matrix likes to do, is to fool you, to lie to you, to make you think it's something that it's not. Illusions of grandeur. Oh yeah, I think this good. This apple looks really yummy to eat and I'm so hungry. And that's what happened to Jesus, by the way. Okay, he was starving. And his best friend decided to feed him something. And he knew something was wrong in his gut. But he was so hungry, and he was supposed to be able to trust his friend. And it was yeah, that's in a whole nother video on this channel you can see. I did process his death and undo the Holy Grail. Whole nother side note. It's very real. It was actually part of my journey. It was very painful, and it was a lot to process. So not only is being omnipresent a lot to process and learn, so is what I've done. Trust me. But we need to become. See, that's what I mean. Most people are going to shut down, and their senses are going to be like, yeah, right, that's great. Most people will not even take the time to watch every video or watch the journey. They just judge it, shut down, and leave. Right? Because the shadow is powerful. The shadow is loud, and the shadow does not want you awake. It does not. So it gives you this illusion that you're woke. If I say love, then I'm good to go then, right? No, I've seen that happen so many times. Well, I choose love, but then their actions were over here not doing it. Thinking they know better than God, right? Oh gosh, we don't, Even I know I don't. I'm always like, God, show me. Anyways, so instead of being mindful, we want to be omnipresent. I need to be able to feel things. I need to be able to tune into all layers of everything, and I do it through my body, through my vibrational frequency. And so if I have any muck in my vibration, it's like a cloud in the blueprint. I can't read everything, so I want to make sure that I can do that. Okay, I want to make sure I'm tuning inward. I want to make sure my vibration's clear and that I can hear through all things. My chakra system's aligned and opened, and I'm balanced, because then I can feel, I can be omnipresent. Then I need to be observant. I need to observe, not speculate. I'm not here to dictate. I'm not here to speculate. I'm here to observe it and have it tell me what it is. And then I'm going to make sure I clear all layers so that I can hear it clearly. Because is it coming from ego? Is it sparking my shadow in any way, shape, or form? Is this somebody else's shadow with an illusion? So if I'm observant, I will feel. I will sit with something and feel it. I will take time to process and allow, because the shadow's loud, and if we give it a moment, it can't hold on forever either way, right? And so if we just observe it, like if I sit here and tell you, hey, I undid the Holy Grail. What's your first reaction? Are you going to judge it? Or are you actually going to watch the process and watch the videos and watch all the work I've done? Are you going to try to work with me to see if I truly am that psychic person that I say I am, which I am? Observant. Okay. Pay attention to the details about Mount Shasta. I cleared it part 1 and then part 2. I processed hundreds of souls from there. I had to replace the root chakra back to Fiji from there. Okay. Then I opened up the God portal in Fiji from there. Okay. And then in part 2, I undid the darkness all completely from there. There's tunnels under there, and Archangel Samael burned. He was the original fallen. Okay. But that is not where El Diablo was found. The darkest portal was actually when I undid the Sistine Chapel. Part 1 and 2 recently on this channel. So I'm going to tell you right now, most people do not observe. Most people judge. Most people go into, well, this is not logical. It can't be her. We're looking for a man named Jesus. We're looking for this. It's all about this poison. Okay? So in order to be mindless, and instead of letting your mind spark your shadow, and when I say these things, because it will, it's about being omnipresent. How does this really feel? And then I need to be observant. What doesn't really feel light? What is not in love within that feeling? Clear that, and then you get down to the baseline of the love and all things, and then you can see the truth. Okay? Then I need to be aware. Just aware. Not in my head. In order to be aware, it's like observant and omnipresence. I am just aware. Okay, I'm not being distracted. I'm not being pulled this way, that way, this way, that way, or that way. I am not unaware. I think distractions are the really big way of not being aware. Like, I'm not sitting here shoving my face into the TV all day. I am taking the time to be in my body, to be aligned, to be open, to be working through the vibrations that are not light and love, because that is the only way I'm going to be able to be omnipresent, observant, and fully aware when things come. And it's never about expectations. Well, this should be this way and this should be this way. And Spirit said this, so where is this? And why is this? And why won't anybody see me? Expectations. I don't need you to. I know who I am. And I love who I am. And what I've done was so amazing and so painfully beautiful. I sacrificed a lot on my journey. So regardless, I know who I am. I know it's real, right? So I don't have expectations that your validations are what's going to make me real. You feel me? I don't need the illusions of grandeur. And I'm definitely not a woke folk. Okay? The woke folk, being mindful, the woke folk have all this. It's like, you want to be awake? Well, I'm going to give you a false reality of being awake. The word mindful is one of those. We have to be very careful what words we are focusing on, what things we are doing, what we are paying attention to, because it may sound good. It means that I am aware. I'm doing all those things because I'm mindful. No. It actually still detaches you from your body to a degree. Okay? It's still giving that power to the mind, which is why 666 is the mark of the beast. Those who are in their mind and not in their body. Okay? Those where the mind has control over you. Your thoughts have control over you. Fears get in and have control over you. Money gets in and takes control over you. The medical matrix makes you think that you can't be inside of you knowing what's going on with you. I undid that too, but YouTube banned that. So that's only in the path to righteousness. The money matrix was undone. The food matrix was undone because these are all the tools they would use to keep us against each other and ourselves, keep us separated from ourselves. And words are no less than that. They are a weapon of mass destruction. And that sounds dramatic, but it's very true. And the word mindful is one of them. So we have 3 words to replace the word mindful with, okay? Instead of mindful, I am omnipresent. I'm in my body and I could feel all things. My senses are fully awakened and aware and activated. We all have access to the same amount of clairs. Actually, it should be upgrading to New Earth. You should get more clairs. It becomes like an ethereal expansion. However, on a baseline, we all have access to the same clairs. It's just, are you omnipresent within them? Did you clear all the muck that keeps you blocked from them, from foods to vibrational things to wounds to the shadow, okay? When you have the shadow that we have to heal, it means the shadow has power over you. I still want healing to this day. I just don't, unfortunately, have anybody that can do healings on me right now. But I'm trying to heal myself continually. Okay, healing is something that doesn't stop, but the shadow, when it has power over you through fear, food, money, ego, timelines, okay, that's where we got to be doing the work tenfold. And when we choose to not give our power to the shadow, we help clear the karma. But those choices are going to be presented, and they already have been being presented. Okay, and one word, one choice can change your whole reality. And so that's why they have this woke folk stature. It's like a line of, ooh, you think you're awake, but I'm going to fool you. One of, like, an example is like Teal Swan. I don't like to use names a lot, but she's not of the light. She will read a book. My stuff came from in me. Okay, everything I did came from within my heart space. I had no idea about none of this stuff. I was not a Bible reader, was not religious, and was not spiritual. I was in psychology, raising 3 kids, coming out of a very extremely abusive life, okay? And just trying to be a good mother, trying to gain what I could back of myself and be a good mother. That's what I was doing. Then all of a sudden, all this stuff started coming from within me. I didn't seek the knowledge. It unfolded through me. And only when I did seek knowledge is because Spirit said, here, look a little further over here. So I would. But only after Spirit gave it to me. I don't want to know anything about anything. I just know it. Okay, it comes from within me. If you're working with somebody that goes, well, let me go do some research on this. They're not inward. They're not a true coming from trueness of that. Okay, and that's like her. It's like this illusion of grandeur. Just like the woke folk, just like the word mindful. But it means this. No, it doesn't. Just like the word judgment. I tell people, do not bring judgment here. But the dictionary says judgment means this. I don't care what the dictionary says. What God says and what the vibration says about that word is everything. Okay? They lie to you. They lie to you. If you think the Bible is all accurate, we got a whole nother conversation to do, okay? They like to play a lot of things against you. They like to place a lot of poisons in the world that you are in and make you think that you're all good and safe and gravy and grandeur, okay? It's a lie. It's a lie. And they use words and illusions and confusions to do it. And even spirituality had a very dark shadow in it. And religion is the darkest shadow. That's not a lie. The Sistine Chapel was undone. And I told you the Pope would have a heart attack before he actually did, like 2 weeks before. Okay? And then he had it on Easter. And I also told you what Easter really was. Okay? So there's a lot of a world that was a lie. And the words are one of them. So if I continue to use words that I'm not fully aware of the vibration it's housing, then I could be hurting myself, okay? If I'm not fully aware of my actions and the vibrations they are causing, I could be hurting myself and others very deeply. Just because I say the word love does not mean my actions match it, okay? Illusions. Mindful is an illusion. Be omnipresent, observant, and awareness means I'm paying attention, but not through my mind. I am just fully invoked. I'm fully present, omnipresent. And I'm observing all things. I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and say I know everything. I am a master healer who will tell you I never assume I know everything. I'm always letting God show me the way, and then I'm making sure it's God. Okay. Observant. What is the full vibration of what just came in? I've had this happen where angels will come in and they'll be like, oh, it's Michael, but he doesn't come in like he usually comes in. The energy came in different. And at first it's like, ooh, and then it's like, wait, this ain't normal. This isn't normal. And then I have to be like observant and really feel into all those things. And I was immediately like, that's not Michael. And I had to clear it out. Boom, boom, boom. And immediately he went away. And they were like, yay. You know, it was like a test. So we have to be omnipresent. If you think you're not tested, you are. Okay? Because this is a spiritual warfare, my friends. Okay? Get out of the illusions of grandeur. We need to not give our power away to the shadow. That's the whole key to rising. Okay? So, don't think you know more than God. That's ego. And that's expectations. And that's assumptions. And all these other things. Those are not real. When we are omnipresent, we are observing. And I am aware. To be aware means I'm in my body, my energy is clear, I'm doing the work to be there, I'm doing the work to be aligned, my chakras are open, and I'm not giving my power to the shadow, and I'm constantly aware of what is coming in. I'm observant of what is coming in, and I'm making sure I'm omnipresent, that I can feel all things. All of my senses are active, because that's how we communicate with the world. This can be a weapon of mass destruction, and it houses a vibration. Okay, so everything we say has a vibration, and vibrations speak louder than what we can see. So it may look pretty, but if you really take that false skin off, it's not so pretty anymore. Okay, so be aware. Don't be woke. Be omnipresent. When you get there, when you get in here, you can see so much more than you ever imagined. That's how I don't need to worry. When people are actually here, they can see me. So much love, my friends. I will see you later. Have a great, beautiful, glorious, wonderful day. Being omnipresent, observant, and having awareness. And give things time to process. Because that's how vibrations work and the body works. And then only when they're clear do they go up here and go bling, makes sense. Okay? It does that. It goes through the body, processes back around, then all of a sudden we're like, oh, I get it now. Light bulb. I'll see you later.